Hello. This is the second time I'm recording. I'm really trying not to hyper fixate on what I say and the way that I say things. Trying not to get into the perfectionism in me that wants to color graded, make sure the lighting's right, make sure everything's perfect, because things don't need to be perfect. I've had this really strong pull to make videos for a while, and it's been unraveling quite quickly. I just finished a creative webinar on creative discipline, which I might talk about, might not talk about, depends on how I feel with the conversation. But it feels cool. I feel that things started kind of coming to life that I'm really gonna go and make this video when this little mic came in. I've really been wanting these mics lately for some reason. Something about it makes me feel safe to express myself. I think it's because I don't have to worry about the volume in which I'm speaking. I think that's the one part I always was hesitant. I've always wanted to do these YouTube videos outside. And I was like, oh, what if I need to yell? I'm not really technical like that. Um, I do know how to video edit, and I wanted to learn how to color grade, but I think what's important is my expression rather than the way that it's being made, the way it's, aesthetic or whatever. Um, I'm an art director at the moment, so it can be really easy to fall into that space of, oh, but this needs to be perfect. Like, this needs to be perfectly straight. This needs to be color graded. I need to remix the sound and audio, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the point of this. There's no point of this video. So if you were expecting something, I'm sorry, there's like nothing to expect. Just tangents, just ways of feeling, and just expression. Um, so far, my intention for these videos are for my future self and for my future children. I feel like it'd be cool to give something to my children. I think it could be very easy to fall into constantly giving advice, but it would be cool to have a container of videos that if my children choose to watch can look past and kind of figure out how I don't have my shit together right now, like almost the age of 25, and I probably won't when I have them. So it'll be cool for them to see that even though I don't show up perfectly as a mom, that I'm trying, and that I always had this desire to grow and be a better person. So, yeah. My original topic of why I wanted to start doing these videos is I'm actually going to go to a Buddhist monastery out in Mount Tremper, New York. It's out in the mountains, and it came up so much faster than I expected. I expected to come on the 6th of June, like during my break, and it ended up being like a week and a half earlier. So I'm actually gonna fly into New York in 2 weeks. So things are getting real. Things are settling. I feel these so many moments of doubt starting to creep in right now after making this decision. A lot of moments of like, am I gonna be capable of doing this? Is this worth it? It's a month of break. Like, shouldn't I just get a job instead and save up some money? Have like a couple trips planned. How are those going to get paid? But I know I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm proud of myself for doing something that's very challenging. And I don't know if it started the second I made the decision to apply to this retreat, or if it happened the day of the call, which was 2 days ago. But I see the ways and how this retreat is challenging me and telling me to let go of things. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the things that have been going on while I'm going. And I guess, yeah, I think that's it for right now. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So um, I recently have gone through a breakup, and it's been really hard. This is like the first breakup where I'm actively choosing myself and leaving a relationship where there was still a lot of feelings involved, and had a really involved life with this beautiful individual. I mean, we were together for 2.5 years, and we lived together for a year, and we lived in Los Angeles, and we were living in Atlanta, and our lives were intertwined in ways that my life has never been intertwined with someone before. So it was really hard to let that go, but there was something in this time of my life that called me to be alone. And during this breakup, I've kind of realized there's so many clinging old parts of myself that linger. So many parts of myself that want to deal with the breakup in its usual way, but a really strong part of me that is dealing with it in a very loving way, in a really sweet way. And I wish nothing but the best for this person, and I love them so much. And I'm so thankful for the time that we shared together. I'm thankful for the way that this relationship has shaped me as an individual. And I'm so grateful that things end, because if things lasted forever, we would never appreciate them as much. So the breakup showed me how much I lost myself, how disconnected I was with myself, and how much being a people pleaser affects relationships, especially like the one with yourself. And it was just a really clear, got distracted. It was a really clear message that it was time for me to be alone and make decisions for myself and be by myself. With that, I was looking to do like a weekend retreat, and I don't know. I was just looking at the itineraries of a lot of them, and it was like, oh, meditate, yoga, some sound bowls. But something about it just like no longer was in alignment for me. I guess I just questioned. I don't know. I just questioned like what the challenge was for me in these retreats. Not to mention they were out of my budget, and yeah, I guess I think I just questioned the authenticity that these kinds of retreats provide. They're beautiful spaces. I'm not saying that like these are spaces that we shouldn't be in. I was just saying for my needs at the moment, the structure, it just wasn't aligning. It felt, it just felt off. It felt like a blissful getaway for a weekend, and then I come back and live my life. So I was thinking about staying at a temple. I've been I've been practicing Buddhism for like 2.5 years, like almost 3 years, and I personally really love it. It aligns with my lifestyle. It allows me to practice on a daily basis, and I feel that I show up in the world with love. I show up in the world with more compassion. I show up in the world with more presence, and yeah, I feel like it's opened up my heart in a million ways, and is something I highly align with. So I had the idea of like going to a temple, and I did the application for it. And I had heard of this place from the time. That's my dog. She's not very happy. Now I'm shy. Now I want to stop talking because someone was walking behind me. But I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to try to convince myself not to edit that part out, because this is what creative freedom is. um, anyways, I found this monastery and was so highly inspired by the schedule, and it feels really hard, and that excites me. So I'm going on the 1 month retreat. You could do one for up to a year, I think. I'll add the information below, but again, this video was just done out of impulse and feeling the need to express myself. So I don't want to hold the responsibility of having to explain in detail and like overthinking if the information I'm sharing is 100% accurate. So I will drop the link of where I'm going below in case you're curious about it, but I'm not going to hold myself the responsibility of accurately explaining everything in depth. But what I love about it is just the isolation of everything. Waking up early. I wake up around 5 in the morning, and then there's moments of silence. There's moments of meditation. The meditation sessions consist of a 30-minute meditation with a 10-minute walking meditation, along with another 30-minute meditation. And I want to say we do that twice a week, but it might be once a day. But I think, no, sorry, not twice a week. I mean, twice a day, but it might be once a day, but I think it's twice a day. And along the day, it's a combination of art practice, body practice, and work practice. So cleaning the temple, helping out in the kitchen, helping gardening, stuff like that, whatever they ask. And art practice, I can either bring my own materials or kind of play with the art stuff that they have, which is what I'm going to be doing. I want to be as open as possible and not have a lot of expectations on what I'm going to do during this time. And during the week from Sunday evening to Tuesday at 2 p.m., the temple closes. So during that time, I had the idea of potentially doing these videos and talking about my progress and my struggles. Um, and I think I still really want to do it. I still feel this urge of making these videos. Even though I was going to start it then, I'm starting it now, which feels really great. But again, no promises if I'll do it every single week, but definitely once or twice, and maybe when I come back, some reflections. But I have no idea where this channel is going to go or what specifically I'm going to talk about. I definitely think spiritual practice, challenges, authenticity, learning, stuff like that, but no specific structure, doesn't really have a form. It just kind of exists right now. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really nervous. My webinar today, uh, I used to call them like my intrusive thoughts, but I really like the way that uh, Yumi, she led the session. I'll also add her information below, potentially. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'll add her information. Why not? Yumi, she led a creative webinar, and she referred to the intrusive thoughts as a lizard brain, which is like a lizard brain. You could draw it however you want. I'll show you how my lizard brain looks like today, how I drew it out. But it's a part of you that doesn't want to do like the creative part. It's like the part of you that wants to rot in bed, doom scroll, eat snacks, avoid doing things. I really like the word lizard brain. That creates like a more like lighthearted association with it rather than intrusive thoughts. I feel like intrusive thoughts were like so serious. Um, where was I going with all of this? Definitely lost what I was talking about. Lost my stream of consciousness. Interesting. Um, but yeah, I'm really curious to explore what my lizard brain will do at this temple. I definitely anticipate feeling bored. I definitely anticipate feeling intense feelings of discomfort. I have a tendency to grab for snacks or like grab my phone if I feel uncomfortable, and it'll be so weird not to have that during those moments. Um, I move a lot during meditation. I know I may come across as someone that's super zen, that is like very like loves to meditate, like this very like spiritual person, but I twitch when I meditate. I just can't stay still. And this, you have to stay still. So it'll be interesting to explore like why I twitch so much and like forcing myself to stay still. And I definitely anticipate falling into perfectionism because when it comes to discipline, I associate discipline with strict perfectionism. I believe that everything has to be perfect and done a certain way, or else I'm not disciplined, which is something I'm trying to break free from. I want to approach discipline in a more loving manner, in a more curious manner, in a playful, like loving manner, rather than like a strict, stern, like cold point of view. So I can see the ways that I will do these work tasks in a really perfectionist kind of way, like, oh, the way I clean this floor has to be spotless, has to be like a spotless floor. And a lot of that also comes from people pleasing, feeling the need that the favors that I do for people need to be done perfectly, or else they aren't like considered a well earned job or whatever. So um, it'll be cool because I anticipate the people pleasing tendencies to get to a point where I'm tired of it. You know, I'm tired of cleaning the floors, or I'm tired of chopping the onions or whatever. And then, feeling bored, which is like another feeling that is super uncomfortable for me. So I'm excited to explore these feelings and be okay with them. And I'm happy that I'm challenging myself in this way. Um, but then right now, I'm having all these doubts and all these fears. And then this all started at the end of my interview. So, again, going back to the beginning where I was saying that I was supposed to come on the 6th of June, and now they're asking me to come the 27th of May, which is actually the day after my birthday. So I'm starting 25 at a retreat, which I did not expect. I did not expect to be in New York City for my birthday and then start the retreat the day after. So that was kind of like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like alone in New York for my birthday. I had kind of wanted like a chill birthday, but now I'm like going to New York. So that stressed me out. I was stressed about I would have to miss like a week and a half of school. So I was really nervous sending my coordinator, like letting her know that I was going to be missing school. And yeah, it was making me have these doubts of like, maybe this isn't the next path for me, like if things were perfect, if this was like meant to be, it would happen at the perfect time. But a part of me knew that these doubts that are coming, as my friend George, we were talking about it, I messaged him, telling him I had gotten accepted and like the emotions that came with it. George had described it as like these old past versions of ourselves still lingering. So my past selves are definitely lingering right now, trying to come up with all the reasons why I should not go to this retreat. But I'm going. I'm buying my ticket today, and yeah, I'm going. The other thing that also caused a lot of fear, sadness, was that week that I was supposed to that the week that I'm now going on the retreat. I was actually supposed to see my ex partner like one last time. He's going to Thailand, which is really exciting for him, and we were going to say like goodbye to each other. And now that's not going to happen. And I guess it just felt like another reminder that that chapter really is closed, and that I have no idea if like our paths will ever cross again. And that was very scary for me. Um, that brought me like I feel like that took away so much of the excitement that I had for the retreat initially, because it required me to let go of something more than what I wanted to. Like I was like ready to like let go of everything, and then I felt like the announcement of the retreat and all the things they required, like not being able to see him, having to leave school early, having to be there for my birthday, all the emotions, yeah, just made me realize that it's going to require me to let go of more than I'm personally comfortable with, but that's okay, and that's a beautiful thing, because we can always grow more than we think that we can grow. Like just kind of like when we do yoga and we're stretching our body, how those poses can be uncomfortable, but we're always able to stretch even further in them. So, yeah, I think that's all I kind of want to talk about right now. I'll, I definitely think my next video, I don't know. I actually am not going to discuss. I'm not going to discuss what the next video is going to be at. There's no prediction. It doesn't need to be perfect. There's no planning that's required. I will just make these videos when I feel like it. So I'm going to I'm going to place pause on the video and hope that you guys didn't hear this outdoor fan, and hopefully just heard the pretty rain that's going on outside. But if you watch this video till the end, that's very sweet, and I hope you have a beautiful day.